There are many facets to the world of pop culture, from the treacle of pop music to the spectacle of the superhero film. There's another side to the pop culture that we immerse ourselves in. Just one channel over, or one more YouTube video deep, is a dark place, a weird place. Tonight we explore the dark and weird that is Alan Wagner. First things first, from time to time as we dig through the garbage of the internet, we run across controversy that may overshadow the art for some. I'm not here to make judgments about your life, or the life of anyone that comes up on this show. Controversy is the way of the world now. I'm about to talk about a person that has some. Moving on. It all started with me stumbling onto a flyer on the internet. Posted on a nondescript telephone pole, it said, "My service. Within 20 minutes of me sitting on your chair, it will become completely soaked. It's not sweat, but it's not exactly just water either. After 2 weeks, the maggots will begin. Eat them. You will be cured. $30 for my service or best offer. 864-392-4306. As the leader of this cult, I knew that you needed to know what would come from leaving a message. Short answer, nothing. Long answer, the Alan Wagner rabbit hole. Always looking to uncover some new bizarrity on the internet, I obviously immediately called the number. I never received a response from the call, but I did receive a response from the viewers. The video, "You Will Be Cured, Maggots and Wetness," quickly became my most watched video, and people were starting to ask more and more often, where is the follow-up to this? So I started digging, and here's what I dug up. With a minimal amount of digging, I was able to find another instance of this poster being shared, then another and another, until I had come to the name of the artist responsible. While it may be a disappointment to know that there isn't really a woman at the other end of the line to cure your illness with maggots and wetness, I think you're going to enjoy the art that Alan Wagner creates. One of the main thrusts of Wagner's art is a series of flyers that are attached to light poles for the general public to find. The earliest flyer that I could find dates all the way back to February 2017 on Wagner's Instagram @TrueWagner. The very basic flyer with a ladder on it simply states, "Ladder lessons. Can't figure it out? Patient, warm, compassionate," with pull tab phone numbers that people have pulled. It is a hilarious little slice of absurdity that is just the tip of the Alan Wagner iceberg. One of the main aspects of all of these flyers is the inclusion of contact information, phone numbers, websites, all leading to voicemails and real websites. Like the Maggots flyer, it is easy to fall into the fantasy that they are creating. You know it has to be a troll or some kind of ARG, but it is hard to let go of the idea that it might be real, especially when there is a little extra proof. Take, for example, NoMoreMarinara.com. On the webpage taken from the flyer, we find a simple video with security camera footage of a man putting marinara sauce in the bed of a stranger. Underneath the video is a picture of a bed with Prego in it, and the short description: "This man keeps breaking into my dorm and placing bottles of Prego marinara sauce under my pillow. Is this guerrilla marketing for Prego? I have paid to replace my lock 11 times. He has not taken anything, but it is very upsetting nonetheless. If you have any information regarding this man, contact me immediately." You can obviously click through to the YouTube channel this video is posted on, which will take you right to the Alan and Sydney YouTube page. While updated infrequently, it leads right to Wagner and his work. But if you never take that last step to see who made the video, this could feel very surreal and very real to the viewer. That is the strength of Wagner's art. He takes a simple idea of something that we have seen a million times, an advertising flyer on a light pole, and turns it on its head, making a hilarious and disturbing world out of nothing. Posters weren't the limits of Wagner's output. You have seen them, quiz games that show you image after image of logos without words, and the game is to guess what the logo advertises. The complete saturation of our minds with the information that corporations want us to have in them is something that is so out of control that most of us probably know more jingles and logos than we know family members. That is a motif Wagner plays with, by showing us items and styles that are familiar to us, but when we look closer, we see that the actual product is something quite different from what we are expecting. It is a world that swings from dangerous to disgusting. Pills that will increase your intelligence and libido, a gallon of potato salad in a milk jug, ways to heat an egg that involve putting a wire in your mouth and consuming some tablet that heats that wire. By their very nature, they feel transgressive. While mimicking things that you might see at the gas station, they are faux products that hint towards a world of black comedy. They lean into sexuality, excess, and the nature of people who want convenience over anything. It is almost a mirror where we see the disgusting side of ourselves. On Wagner's Twitter post about Henton's round meal, macaroni and beef, it isn't hard to find people that are more than willing to give this so-called food a try. The mirror shows us our drive to consume, pushed so far along that we don't even stop to consider the source. If it is on a shelf, there is somebody that is willing to blindly buy it. This is a fake product, and people don't even look at the top of the page that they are commenting on before talking about being willing to consume. The consumption of popular culture isn't immune to this art and this artist. Here at The Cult, we worship at the feet of popular culture. We see the art that is created as an extension of ourselves and our lives as a reflection of the media we consume. We worship what we create. There's something about the way we interact with popular culture that says a lot about us as people. From the time when parental advisory stickers were being thrown onto albums and people were in fear that their children would turn to the devil because of a comic book or a movie, to the present day where there is still outrage over artists like Lil Nas X and what is perceived as his overt Satanism. Our reactions to popular culture make our greatest fears come to the surface. People complain and protest and fight because they don't understand what the point of art is. Here is a whole new vista of items that Wagner has produced that look at media in a way that is very much so playing with those fears of the unknown. They seem silly and fun on the surface, but as you look harder, they begin to seem menacing. Hats blurred out for the movie Tom's Explicit Hat. A goofy premise, but very reflective of the fetishization of literally anything in our current culture. They call it Rule 34, and it's there for a reason. But this fake media doesn't stop at covers of music albums and movies. It moves into video itself. Here again is the surreal look at the type of media we consume. The videos are reflections of YouTube, reality TV, and more, all dark and surreal, giving us dark moments that come from what should be lighthearted. Darkness seems to drive all of these projects. They seem motivated in a lot of ways by depression and a need to change the world at large. Most people have come into contact with Alan Wagner's art through a very specific flyer, Bathe in My Milk. In 2017 and 2018, news media like LA Magazine, the BBC, and the New York Post were starting to recognize that something strange was going on with the flyers cropping up around Los Angeles. The milk bath flyer had garnered a lot of interest, and with the help of his partner, Sidney Marquez, they were creating more and more content. When asked about the work, Wagner said, "They're inspired by anything I see or anything I might be thinking about. As someone who struggled with mental illness and never felt like they fit in with what was considered normal, I want to attack normal. As stated at the top of the episode, there is controversy here, and that is why you see the output from Wagner slow to a crawl at the end of 2019. I find that there is really only one side of the story that I can find, so I won't discuss it in this video because that's unfair to all parties involved. But suffice it to say, we may never see much work from Wagner again. The cult reached out to him several ways over a period of time and never received a response. When we step back and look at what Wagner is creating, so much of it is a reflection of our deepest fears about ourselves. Do we really understand the way the world works? What happens if I lose my way in this life? Am I just here to consume? Looking at this little slice of pop culture, we get to remind ourselves that art and life are one and the same, inseparable, and often messy. Messy like maggots and wetness on your couch. But like the maggots and wetness, the cure for what ails you might just be in popular culture. Well, there you have it. The breakdown of Alan Wagner, the man who created the woman who can cure everything that ails you with her wetness and maggots. I know it's not the conclusion that most of you were anticipating, but hope you enjoy it. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notifications. And of course, head to darkandweird.com and buy some junk. Until next time, never sleep, never die. Dark and Weird.